Hi, I'm Neryl East. You don't have to look too far in the media to find stories about businesses or organisations that have made the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Something has gone wrong and they haven't managed it well, and all of a sudden they've got a major public problem on their hands. And in my experience, a lot of those issues come about because the organisation has, if you like, shot itself in the foot. Somebody inside the organisation has made a mistake and perhaps they've tried to cover it up. Or the organisation has known that something's gone wrong and yet they've chosen not to speak about it publicly. They've tried to keep it within their four walls. And I think we know that these days that just doesn't work. It's just not feasible to cover things up and hope that they won't get out. But I want to focus on the first scenario, organisations where employees perhaps make a mistake but are too scared for one reason or another to actually admit to it. The culture of the business or the culture of the organisation is such that mistakes are punished. So what tends to happen then is the employee covers up that mistake and then the effects can be felt much further down the track and are much, much worse than they would have been if the mistake had been simply acknowledged and dealt with in the first place. So it's really important that we look at our own business or organisational culture when we're thinking about reputation. Is it a culture where it's okay for people to make minor slip-ups and they're allowed to own up to those? Or is every mistake considered a hanging offence and so employees are simply too scared to communicate if something isn't quite right? Now, I'm not suggesting that you condone somebody making repeated mistakes and not being competent at their job. That's a performance management issue and is something else again. I'm talking about employees who are normally really good performers who, for one reason or another, make a minor or a moderate slip up of judgment, or perhaps they're dealing with a customer and it hasn't gone as well as it should have gone. You want to cultivate a culture where people feel free to speak up about that, to actually raise those issues and to rectify the situation as soon as possible. You can then get back to that customer and make amends, or you can deal with whatever the situation is. Having a culture where mistakes are covered up and not dealt with is simply courting disaster, and you're looking to have a major reputational issue on your hands. So if you're a small business, you're in a great position to influence that business culture before it gets too big. And you can help to create an organisation where it's okay to say, look, I've done something and I could have done it a little bit better. Let's rectify the issue straight away rather than letting it build up. If you're from a big organisation or a government agency perhaps, you can still look at your team, whether you're the manager of the team or a team member, look at the culture of that team and consider whether it's a place where it's okay to make minor slip-ups. And then use your influence if you can in the broader organisation. We want to cultivate a culture where people are acknowledging what they've done and then owning up to that and then being able to take steps to minimise that issue and minimise the effects of that issue before it starts to snowball. So everybody has a role in building reputation capital. Doesn't matter whether you're the general manager or a junior employee, everybody is important in the reputation economy. So I'd love to speak to you more about that if you're interested in building your reputation capital.